Hello, hi everyone. Hi, I'm Rock, and in today's video we'll be doing tuning PIDs, PID. Proportional integral derivative on a FPV drone or quadcopter. So today all I'll be doing is increasing or dramatically increasing P on the roll axis. I don't want to make this video long, so I'm just going to do it in series or in parts and break it down. So in this video I'll just do the roll axis and what happens when you increase P dramatically. So I would start off with stock PIDs on a KISS flight controller V2, which is or stock P on the roll axis, which is 3. Then I'll dramatically increase it up to 8. I never increased, the highest I ever increased P on the roll or pitch axis is probably 6.5. I think anything above 6 on F4, F3 flight controller boards, you experience oscillation or a high revving sound from the motor. So this is a first for me, going above 6. So I'll increase it to 8. Well, I'll fly it with on stock PIDs or stock P, which is 3. Then increase it up to 8. Fly it for a while on the roll and do some roll maneuvers and do some barrel rolls or half rolls, and then bring it down to 6, where I normally fly P, or that's where I like to leave P at on the roll axis. But before I show my flight footage, I just like to apologize. For some reason my SD card was full, so I couldn't get DVR footage in my goggles. I wanted to show you folks the amp draw, RPMs, and the ESC temperature, but because of my SD card was full, I wasn't able to record DVR footage. But I'll do that in the next video, and especially my prop series video, which is coming up pretty soon. So, but before we move on and make this video any longer, but the one thing you need to understand is that what quad I'm using and what electronics I'm using in this quad, because every quad is different. This is a Reverb 5-inch. This is pretty considered an X-frame, which is semi-squish. So semi-squish is basically the left and right motors, whether it's the front or back. The left or right motors the distance is longer between motors than compared to the front and back. So the distance is shorter front and back, and then longer in the sides, left and right. Impulse RC 5-inch Reverb frame. I have the KISS flight controller V2 MCU. It's a F7 board, and the gyro is an MPU 6000, Wolf PDB, KISS 32-bit MCU 4 processor, or chip, F4 I guess, just for short. Running D-Shot 2400, and then I have my iRock prototype motors. Check out this bad boy. For my HD footage, I'm using the GoPro Session, the regular Session, default or stock settings. No ND filters. So you see is what you get. So onward to the flight footage. The roll axis, the P is set at 3, which is stock PIDs on the KISS flight controller V2. Now let's see how this bad boy flies. Here, I'm dramatically increasing the P on the roll axis up to 8. Now let's see if it makes a big difference. Here, I'm decreasing or setting the P to 6. In conclusion, this is a brief summary. On F3 boards and F4 boards, I know the highest I could ever increase P was 6. Anything higher than that, like I said, I'll experience oscillations or motors overworking or revving too high. With this flight controller V2, because I guess it's an F7 board, it's capable, and well, not only that, but the KISS ESCs, the 32-bit F4 ESCs, and running D-Shot 2400, you can increase it at least 8. I think you could go up to 9, and it's still, the quad would still fly fine. I noticed when you increase, as you increase P, when you reach almost towards the end of the 6, the maneuver will drastically be faster and more dramatic. So when I roll and slow roll, and then before I reach the end of the sticks, it will just, you know, do that, you know, slow and so to me, like I always say, you know, PID tuning is personal preference. Everybody every pilot is different, and some are, you know, real slow and steady with the sticks on the radio control transmitter, and some are very aggressive or not that steady. I think I fall in the middle. I can be steady and at the same time and herky jerky. I do not run, as you see, I don't run any RC curve. For that, the reason why is because I like to challenge myself, and I think the only way you can train your mind to be more precise is to not have any assistance. I think RC curve is assistant, the PID controller is assistant. It only helps you, become a look like a better pilot. So for me, like when you increase, you set to find the perfect tune, you have to understand that you're timing with your hands and with the sticks, especially when you try to do half rolls. It's how quickly you go from the center stick position to the end of the stick and back. I noticed it when the P is set at 3 or at stock PIDs, there's like a slight delay on the half roll when I do the half roll. So basically, when I move the stick from the center position, I would have to hold the stick like a half second longer at the end of the throw, or when I reach the end of the resolution or 2000 resolution. So basically, it's like from the center stick, bam, half second, and it'll do the half roll like real slow. So like you can see in that camera, just half roll and boom, it hit the boom once it hit the. So yeah, no. So center stick, when I reach the end of the stick or 2000 resolution, I would have to hold that stick like a half second longer to get the half roll. When I raise it to 6, I don't have to hold it that long. It's like that. It's like I just hold it less, less. Why can't it come out of my mouth? Why? So I don't have to hold the stick that 2000 resolution longer, right? Just lesser. And then the same as when I raise it up to 8, it's like lesser. So you as a pilot, when you're trying to find that perfect P on your roll axis, it's basically your timing, like, so for me, it's all about half rolls and full rolls, and not really about the quad going left or right or rolling left or right. To be precise, you have to understand your timing, so you find the highest P2 that fits your timing. And I also notice, like I probably can do half rolls more consistent when the P is set to 3, because it's a lot slower and I can see the quad, or the way the quad moving. It's not like a quick, like I said, quick snappy roll, or it's just not quick and snappy, it's slow. There's an upside and downside to that, especially these professional FPV pilots, the ones who mostly do freestyle. You see they run low Ps. Like I think the highest I see someone run is 4, and that is basically the reason why is because they have better control, because they can, the quad moves a lot slower. So when something moves a lot slower, in your mind, you have better control, and your timing is a lot more perfect. As you raise, like when you raise the P, the quad tends to move quicker and faster, have a quicker and faster response, more aggressive roll. So you have to train yourself, to get the timing down as you raise the P's. So that is my conclusion. So basically, there's no right or wrong way setting your P on your roll axis. It's all like how you fly as a pilot, your skill level, your skill set. So you just have to figure out what is the best time for you. That is the conundrum, because you also can, like say, you can do your rates, and as you raise your rates, your quad will be, have aggressive maneuver. But I think it's with like with the rates, you're pretty much moving how aggressive you want the roll to be at a certain point in the resolution. When they say resolution, it's basically from the middle stick to the end of the stick. So you start with 1000 resolution, 1500 is the middle, and 2000 resolution is the end. So you actually just moving that point in the resolution, like it's like a curve when you want the maneuver to just kick in and be aggressive. That's your rate, and then your RC rate or your super rate is basically when at the end of the stick how much degrees per second you want your quadcopter to roll or flip. So, I'm trying to explain this the best way I can, as simply as I can. I know this video is going to be probably half an hour long. I'm sorry for that, but I think as if you get trying to give you the best information, so that way you can tune your quad the best way you can, which suits your pilot skills. So remember, it's all about timing. You want to find that, because like this day and age, technology is so advanced that you can fly stock PIDs and the quad will fly perfect. I think the only thing you pretty much have to tune is your I's and your D's. I is basically just to keep your quad locked in or make it like it flies on rails. D is to eliminate that prop wash or that oscillation while you're descending or recovering from dives. So that is my opinion. My PID tuning, people might say, no, that's not how you do it, that's not how you explain it. Yes, I know. Everybody does it differently. Everybody looks at it differently. The only way you know how to be able to tune your quad perfectly to your skill set or your pilot skill set is to just tinker with it and to just experience it for yourself, because that's the only way you can learn, is through experience. It doesn't hurt to try. Like I said, you can increase it all the way up to 8, even 9, and the quad will still fly fine with no oscillations. So enough with the P. Let's move on to I, which is in the next video. Take care and God bless, and aloha. Shaka, and I'm out.